Hi, everyone. This is Eric Keller. Hi from the Rio, Las Vegas, where I'm in a lovely suite, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week.
And we're looking forward to see you. How you doing, Eric? Now, there are
Good.
rumors that you're going to be giving your keynote speech in Yiddish. Is that true?
It is true, although actually it's in Yiddish through Google Translate and back to English.
Okay, okay, we got that. Now
No one will even know.
okay. Now you're speaking. I think it's 9:15, something like that. The last one, and you're competing against Hillary and Donald. How did that make you feel?
I'm competing against Hillary and Donald. I guess I'll have to say something really provocative.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully I will throw one less Molotov cocktail than Donald Trump will at our discussion.
Right. So everyone's gonna have to decide. Do they want to stick around for you, or do they want to watch the debate? So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick around.
Yeah, I mean, I started at Amazon's in 1999, and I was the first category lead for merchants for what they called anchor partners. So that was the largest sellers on the platform at the time: Office Depot, Circuit City, J&R, and then expanded to include all camera and photo, including a bunch of friends that were from the New York area, and it was a lot of fun. We were really we really sort of broke the mold on a lot of things that no one had really thought of before. I remember back when I was working and we had just launched with Adorama, and was it I'm trying to think of who. Moshe calls me and he says, Eric, you got to pull our site down. And I said, pull your site down. He says, of course, it's Sukkot. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And he says, it's Sukkot. You got to pull everything down. I said, Moshe, I got just the solution. I said, you got to pull it down. I said, we don't have to pull it down. We'll just set your fulfillment latency to 9 days. And then I'll come in the next day and set it for you for 8 and then 7 and we'll work it down. He says, hold on. And I hear him in the background talking. He says, hold on another day. I hear him talking to someone else. He says, I just talked to my rabbi. He says, it would be wrong.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, is your rabbi there? He goes, he happens to be.
Right. You got to tip your cap. I mean, anyone who does that, B&H does it also. So you got to definitely tip your cap. Anybody tip your yarmulke, right?
I'll tip my yarmulke, exactly. But it was really fun because what was really amazing about that time was that we were like inventing the way e-commerce could work for all kinds of for all kinds of reasons. So whether it's hey, it's Sukkot, so we got to figure this out. We had to create the opinion the first time. Like now this stuff is old, but it was like the Wild West, the Hasidic Wild West at the time, and it was
Right.
really fun.
But I happen to think in 100 years we're gonna look back at 2016 and we're gonna say that it's still in its e-commerce is in its infancy. Do you agree?
Oh my gosh, I got asked at Internet Retailer this year. I'm not going to bring Donald Trump again, but it turns out I am. That they said, Donald Trump says he's going to break Amazon up, which he did actually say it once during the primary. He said they're basically a monopoly. They deserve to be broken up. And someone asked me, they said, do we think that the FTC is going to look into Amazon because they're so huge? And I said, honestly, I said e-commerce is still, whether you include gas and groceries, it's still like 13% of US retail. And that's just in the US. And Amazon, they're big. Maybe they're 30 or 40%, but that's still, a very, not very small part of all retail. And while it's, huge for us in e-commerce, it's just not that, they're nowhere near as big as other companies that have been addressed. And there's so much growth left. Like look at Fresh and Prime Now and all of these sites that have such an opportunity to still plow additional growth. So I don't know about you, but a great example where I see that coming is, I bought a camera for my daughter for the last day of school last year. She wanted to take pictures with her friends. And it was uh, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. And she comes down crying because she was getting her bag ready, and she realized that the thing wouldn't take pictures because it didn't come with an SD card. And none of us realized the warning wasn't on the page. And she's like, I can't get one. I'm like, it's 9. I can't run out and get one. And I was like, wait a minute, Prime Now. And I went and I bought that, and I added 2 or 3 other things in it. But there is a good argument that I would have bought it eventually, I guess. But that transaction would not have happened on that day if Amazon hadn't delivered it to me that evening. And you can imagine, and in Atlanta, I can get Coca-Cola delivered cold from Prime Now, and in Seattle you can get beer delivered cold. So there's this pervasiveness of taking impulsivity and quick delivery and creating transactions that wouldn't have happened anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the system works. It's just amazing. Why shop anyway? I hate going shopping. I hate going to the mall. And more people are going to think like me. You know, right now, there's probably a good percentage of America that's never purchased. You know, that purchased less than 5% of their stuff online. Eventually, that's like, in 10 years, that's not going to be true anymore.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's funny because those of us that live in New York or Atlanta or today Las Vegas, it doesn't even matter. All of these big coastal cities or the major city, even Chicago, all the big cities. For us, we can't believe that everyone's not like this, but it really is true that pervasiveness of e-commerce is really. I don't want to say it's concentrated in the city because that's not true at all, but it's very, very common if you live in New York to think that you might get your groceries delivered. But that's still fairly new in Atlanta, and it's not as heavily used. But in New York, getting something delivered is just secondhand. And as you see more and more of the country try it and like it and get used to the ease and convenience, let me tell you an example that I think is exactly what you just said. I have now been traveling and speaking all most of September. Now I have traveled, and we actually have a bar mitzvah or a family bar mitzvah each weekend in September, and I'm traveling during the week. And I was talking to my wife about. She says, "Gosh, if we had fresh in Atlanta, we would use it all like crazy." And I said, "Really?" I said, "It's not that big of a deal. Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and whatever is right around the corner." And she says, "No," she goes, "but think of it. We keep getting in Sunday night and you leave Monday morning. If I could have milk waiting for me and eggs and everything else, that would be huge." And so those create this transaction. It sort of removes the friction from getting out, getting in your car, having to wait till the kids go to bed so you can go before the store closes. It's huge.
Yeah, it's definitely like. So how many you worked at Amazon, correct?
1999 to 2007. I was there longer than 99.7% of the people at the time. There's a tool.
You knew Jeff. You know Jeff personally?
So I have had to present to him on 2 occasions, but he used to be down the hall from me, and I'd say I saw him personally every day, but that's because I ran into him into the men's room. But we're very close.
So you have access to him? Not quite.
Everybody has access to Jeff. His email is jeff@amazon.com.
Yeah, you and us and 10 million other people emailing him.
I would recommend that you not write him every day. Just
All right. Okay, Eric. So we're definitely looking forward for your speech, and I'm glad you were able to get on this morning. And
thanks. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And a lot of people in the community, and we're all looking forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.